Good morning. This message is in regards to futurists for resilient, renewable, and future thinking. And on today's important date, that is the 17th, it is a collaborative, local, international, and global goal day within inside of the global goals, and an important realization that I spoke
62.
on. Please don't interrupt, and I know you are here and I'm here. Thank you. And the importance of what it means to not only plan, lead, and invest, but ultimately to see the results. And to see the results inside of the very important infrastructure that's needed into coastal regions, low areas where there's many bridges, and infrastructure is of great importance to have the action executively passed forward with quick haste, as the importance of time is of the essence when it comes time to rising sea tides and increase of storms, whether it be tropical or not. Storms can increase in magnitude and have proven so inside of the last 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And the importance as it stands now is based on scientific fact and the realization that our world is heating, to take each and every important resource, whether it be electric mining, the resource extraction that is renewable of electrical energy and sustainable solar power, and every important investment in what's been made over the past 5, 10, 20 years that will allow this type of mass infrastructural development, coast to coast, sea to shining sea, and inside of each and every continent whose coastal cities are of great importance to create resilience. This is something that I've advocated with inside of my own health and wellness important lead, and it needs to be thought of is very seriously. It is not a time to put on the brakes and say this is something that can wait 10, 20, 30 years. These important infrastructures have to be started as soon as possible. What we've seen in British Columbia and we've been seeing around the world inside of real devastation is not something to leave in the insurance providers' hands, for there's too much livelihood at stake. Lives are at stake when water levels rise quite quickly and rapidly because of precipitation not yet seen. This is my lead. This is the way I see it, and everything that I am speaking to is very important to what I have initiated as a Goodwill Health Ambassador to the important lead inside here of Canada, but it's a precedent that I've made notice on the importance of setting precedent globally within the United Nations community of leaders, and I've spoken about it again and again, and it needs very important planning, investment, leadings, and controls to manage the importance of action now. And today's action creates the safety, the resilience, the renewability of tomorrow. This is a fact. And inside of what can be offered in the development of one's country, setting legal, humanitarian precedent onto, in addition, the immigration policies that can increase infrastructure and housing development in a rapid way, like it's been done here in Canada and other neighboring nations, is what I see as good job creations within inside of every nation. And whether it be inside of the areas specific, and I'm thinking clearly in the news a lot about South America and the migrants there recently in 2020 and 2021. In addition to that, there is a present need for lots of jobs to be created to build and engineer safely, smartly, and with great climatic engineering and environmental consideration inside of the very important areas with Iranian despots. And there is many people, the Syrians and everybody else, I could keep listing. The point being is not what I can list in what needs to be done. The world leaders are well aware of what peoples are migrating or on an exodus and what can be done inside of jobs as well as the United Nations development in the reality that we are all in this planet together. It's one home, it's one earth. We need to pull together, we need to put our resource together. We've already done so in great technology, innovation, and now it's time to keep rallying the action to real results, locally, internationally, and globally, to see a day where all of our incredible inertia of what's already been happening continues to happen in results. And with action, there can be happening more action. My collaboration, just like any political speaking, is part of it. There is a time for speaking and a time for action. What I'm leading online now, personally, is something that I'm very passionate about, to see a result inside of building health on a humanitarian cause, as well as building environmentally, climate, very important leads to get infrastructure to the level that it needs to be, because the climate is the way it is moving, and there is no going backwards in time and changing what is, but rather adapting, evolving, and growing. And apparently my eye has still taken my medication for almost the week, and it looks like I'll still need some eye ointment there to help clear that up. Excuse the lack of focus, but the point being is that if I don't treat my eye, the eye won't be healed. Same thing if one were to not do anything, and I could think locally here, if one were to not take a look at the amount of precipitation that happens in Britannia and not put the $2-3 million in to increasing the drainage and increasing the way that the naturalness of gravity moves water towards and back to the Ottawa River. And every important, even smaller steps like checking the eaves during the time of fall, making sure the leaves are cleared out of the roof, is very important for residents to do, and hopefully they are already on top of that. I've noticed a few homes I can make mention in around that haven't done it. Maybe these people on vacation, and it's important to note that if one is on vacation, to always call up a company and have the eaves cleared, because the last thing one wants to do is come back from a vacation and find out there's water damage. Another good, wise thing to invest in. And inside of what I just spoke on locally, there is even larger importance, and everybody's watched the news on what's happened in BC, yet flooding has been happening in a lot of lower areas in the world. It doesn't have to be necessarily on a coastline for it to be affected by precipitation, and that's another important point too. So my message today is clear, it's concise, it's straight to the point. What I've consulted online on the importance of thinking forward presently to build the planning, leading, investing, and controlling the infrastructural importance of bringing forward the realities that we all need, is just like the forefathers did so very long ago, when it was the Blue Nose 1, 2 being created, and the importance of what those ships made for Canadian history, and the reality now where it is a touring ship that people can go for a great, important historical heritage tour. So this is important, and this is my lead today on the collaborative 17th of November 2021. And as I got outside and realized that not only is the environmental planning important, but also what is one doing on a household level of creating more warmth for themselves. I love to dress in layers, and it's a great way to stay warm. I've spent a lot of time inside of sports and adventuring, skiing, you name it, and I found the most effective way to stay warm inside of cooler weather is dressing in layers. You can wear like one big huge parka and be quite warm with it, but it's another thing to dress in base layers. And what I mean by that is you have a sock or two, you have wool, which is very good insulator, you have great boots, and you have some long underwear, and then you put on an undergarment, a t-shirt, and then maybe one shirt, and then put a a turtleneck, and then a very long sweater with a hood, a jacket, and another jacket. And that's like 3-4 layers on the base. You can have some jogging pants with a pant. You can even have overalls. The point being is if you work outside, like I've done lots of work outside, or you are commuting and you're in a very cold climate, no matter where you are locally, stately, provincially, internationally, or globally, the point being is you got to know your environment and find out how you can best suit your dress code to preventative health cause. Too many people succumb to cold weather. The other day I saw a young person not wearing a coat, and it was like -degree weather. So this is a heads up for parents. I've done a lot of parenting in my time. It's also a heads up for school boards. If you notice your students coming to school and they're without their coats or gloves, give a heads up, maybe note to the student, or call up the parent. Either way, we're all in this together. It's not like pointing the finger, but it's healthy, good reminders to keep preventative health in the driver's seat. And that's the way I was brought up, that's the way I think, and that's the way I lead. And in order to bring more realities to preventable health, which is a business mindset for me, if I were ever playing golf inside of golf courses for the winter time, and sometimes golf courses may be open now, I would wear like a base layer with a coat. I'd even wear some gloves, and wearing a light glove and getting out there with base layers gets you on the golf course and having an awesome time of golf. And if your senses are and you can hear the sirens, you may not be able to pick it up on this video, but that's an important thing too.
That's important.
So what time is it exactly here on?
And who is he?
What time does it say right there?
11:30.
11:13?
Yeah.
At 11:13, which is prime left lead, the 1-1-1, which is 3 ones, make a trinity belief in oneself, one's community, and the 3 to the right is also trinity. The 3 and the 3 makes an even 6. And the 6 is like the 2 divisible 11 on the left divided by the 3 on the right to make a 2, which is even balance. And even balance is important inside of your business. It's also important on how you communicate, and it's definitely important on collaborative partnership, which is goal 17 today. So thinking forward and bringing forward the most important realities within inside of one's partnerships, whether it be the United States, Mexico, Canadian agreement, or the trilateral agreement that exists. They call the Three Amigos, the deals going on most recently and currently inside of news. No matter who is making the deal, the fact is deals are being made and need to continue to be made in a paramount, very important lead for what will be the realities of what is built inside of development in energy, development inside of infrastructure, and development. Please, this is my time to speak. I had heard you speak. It's now my turn. And the importance of what will continue to be of great importance locally, internationally, and globally to the realities of how we are all pulling together, we are building together, we're making sure that the realities of sustainability, when we go to a local bridge and it's too low, it's now been built up, and now the river, that if it flows over, it's fine. Or increasing the amount of cement that may be needed to build up the sides of that riverbed in order to be able to make the river not swell to the point where it's of concern. Also building up dikes, aqueducts, and other ways to collect water and store watering is an important part of cities' existing infrastructure, and continuance to lead a good, healthy way to be adequately prepared for natural storms and the increasing the propensity of what's happened because of a warming planet. We all know about it, and we need to convincingly now exercise legislative empowerment with senator acceptance on the fact that climate is real, and It's not
Yeah.
something
Jean
to
Gadot,
say
divorce,
what if
Israel,
it is,
goodbye.
and it also needs to be planned
You're so
accordingly.
stupid. This is with who I'm fighting.
Please
you.
and thank you.
This is who I'm fighting. You don't know that?
Do I have to stand up and go outside in order to have like?
Yeah, go YouTube. Now you
See,
know.
you know, when you're speaking
Why
on the
wanna get back
phone,
to Toronto? I told
it
you
was
once,
you
you don't
speaking
care.
to who you're speaking
What you're
to, and I
doing
wasn't
with the
interrupting
bronze of people,
conversation.
bronze.
How is it that I'm
I
now
don't get
speaking
political
and now
corruption,
you're
I
jumping
don't.
into my video as though that you're
Neither
because your
my
great
blood.
granddaughter of Prime Minister Korcher, you can interrupt me?
Doesn't.
I mean,
Because I'm checking the
that's
actor.
what
You said this guy is
good
dead.
form is,
You said
right?
Hal Freeman is dead.
I
you?
did bring that to
Good,
your
which his
attention. You
name
can
is,
look that up.
There's no attention, fucker.
Okay,
have
why
a
are you
sick
speaking? Why are you
bitch.
swearing at me?
Because I'm swearing. Because you could be target here. You
Okay.
be on the loose.
No.
If it's
So I'm
child of my
speaking
family.
and don't interrupt me.
Oh,
That's not
yeah.
right. Don't do it. Don't
Yes, I do
oh
it.
yeah
I
it
do
because
it.
oh
You
yeah
lost.
means that you're
You
half
lost.
listening.
You're keeping hostage of the sisters of
I don't think so.
Five Guys.
No.
Those are done by me.
Okay, I'm going back
Okay,
to my
they're
video.
done.
So
Done. It's done
please
investigation.
don't
When
interrupt
did you
it.
meet their
Please
sisters?
and thank you.
You lost with Bones,
Thank you.
2005. That's it, with
Thank
Bones,
you.
2005.
Do I need a private
And with
cubicle?
SCIS,
A little
2003.
plastic around me
And
here?
Grace Anatomy me too,
A little bubble?
2005. Here you
Put
go.
myself in a little bubble here so I
3 and 5.
can have my video
You
and
don't
then you're
listen
not
since
interrupting me.
2003, 5?
I mean,
Good.
we could interrupt each
And
other
why
all day
not?
long. I mean, clearly that's how you view your business,
It's
but
your
I don't
choice.
think that's the
Your
right way to do
choice.
it.
You don't listen.
Are you
I
going
don't listen
to
either.
hear me?
No?
No?
My goals.
But you're jumping into
That's
my
it.
business now.
No. Oh, I wish if it's business. It's a
Okay,
fake
it is my business. No,
business.
it is my business. You're looking down on your laptop,
You're still with
and I'm
Sabrina.
speaking my business.
Sabrina. I don't
No,
think so.
I'm speaking my business in my life,
Listen
in
to
my
me, Mark.
moment, and you better listen to me, great granddaughter
The
Prime Minister of
boss
Portugal,
is done
Albania.
with Sabrinas. It's done.
I, Mark
I
Zeleny,
finished all your Sabrinas.
President and CEO
2003 and 5.
of
It's been here
Futurists.
1999.
This is my life
The
right
moment I
now.
landed in
It's not for
Canada.
you to be telling me that you're
I
the
found
great
the truth
granddaughter of
about
Prime Minister
Sabrinas.
Korcher, so you can interrupt me.
I
It doesn't
found
matter
the
what your
truth about
titlement is.
Sabrinas.
Jumping into somebody else's
There are
speech
10 of
is
them,
not right.
10, not one.
You had
2,
your time on the
10.
phone, it's now my time. And that's a perfect example of being able to create a healthy speech, and it just happens to be a case study in creating a good environment for business. So at 16 minutes and 43 seconds exactly, which is 4 and a 3 is 7, and a 1 and a 6 is a 7, 7 and 7 is champions 14 time. It is important for me to wrap up this important lead. And I have my own needs, which is getting some exercise, but I wish all those right now inside of public figures, whether they be traveling to the United States or those very important people on the borders of Poland and Belarus and those neighboring countries who have a distinct time to be able to rise to the occasion and make some important diplomatic
Don't even go.
decisions that will influence the present building of and engineering of present temporary and long-term housing, which will create jobs and permanent immigration status for those despots that are Iranian on the border is, I think, a very important lead locally, internationally, and globally, which will always be a humanitarian good lead. And there's no doubt about it in my mind. And that's important today and every day on November the 17th, 2021. Have an incredible Champions Rise continuing here to the capital city of Canada, Ottawa, and each and every important place inside of what's important at the end of the day is to build together, to work together, to realize and strive together, because inside of what is the reality of one planet, and I love science, there is but one planet we call Earth, and as much as exploration is a necessary part of colonial evolution and or humanitarian evolution and or worldly survival evolution, the fact remains 100% that we have one Earth and we need to pull, push, earn, keep, develop together, because in the empowerment of skilled citizenry and skilled professionals and skilled laborers and skilled politicians, we are able to get what we have before us, which is results, continuing good results forward. Have an incredible Champions Day. continuing locally, internationally, and globally. This is my message. Mark Solani, President and CEO for Futurist, resilient, renewable, and sustainable future thinking. Have a great day, everyone.